What is up, everybody? This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat Tuesday, freaking January 2nd, 2024. Holy crap. Another year's gone by. Literally. It just seems like it never slows down. Hopefully you're doing well. Had a great holiday week, whatever. I mean, hopefully you've been able to recharge. And excited about 2024 because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities, whether it's in trading, real estate, creative finance. Chaos creates opportunities. No different than when the market is puking, people are going crazy, doing crazy things, opportunity abound. Someone else's loss is your gain potentially. And not because you're a mean person, but sometimes people need capital. They need to unload. They need to do things. They've made mistakes leverage-wise. There's a million reasons why we could get into all of the things that create problems that are coming, but it is what it is. People are pretty bent into the idea that we will get a soft landing. I have never bent the knee to that idea. Markets can play games. As we've talked about, the 1970s had extreme volatility where you retest the highs, fail, retest highs, fail. Well, we shall see. Again, no matter what you do, I think people need to realize the goal of this year is if you're trying to get better at trading, stick to your stops, define your risk. Being wrong happens. It's not going to always be easy. You can have a plan, an idea, a thought, a process, but guess what? You got to be willing to throw it all away if it breaks your discipline. Sorry, it breaks your stop, knocks you out. Just is what it is. If you're used to certainty in trading, then guess what? You probably shouldn't be trading because this is going to be fun. And when I say fun, like volatility, I love it. I mean, again, that's where the greatest opportunities come from. When the VIX is sitting there in the 12s, snoozer, absolute snoozer. So if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification button on YouTube. I appreciate it. Again, check out the Back to Basics videos. Y'all seen the website. Get your 5.5 from Marcus. Loving it. Da-da-da-da-da. Also, too, I'm telling you, at some point, thanks, Schwab, some of these brokerages are going belly up. Check out the Interactive Brokers link. Get the referral. Get some shares. Their stock actually looks pretty damn good, which is giving me more confidence versus, say, like the turd that is Schwab. Here, also drop in the Marcus account. 5.5%. It's temporary for 3 months, but then after that, I think I had to click on it. Oh, yes, but this is the thing. I keep telling people how many times I've referred out people, and you will, once you love and use the app, you're gonna be like, this is basically where I just park my money. It's like a CD, but I can actually access it constantly. I can transfer money around. It's 5.5. It's paying better than CDs. CDs nuts. Sorry, that's just the child in me acting up. Also, like, subscribe, notification bell on the Twitter. I can't. Do we have to call it X? Is this 2024? You got to call it X now. It's like I can't call a platform a letter. I don't know. I'm trying to think anywhere in my life do I go, that's F. Let me log into F. I need to go to the B. I need to read a B. I have E to read. No, it doesn't roll off my tongue. I just want to get into this. Anyone realize what's going on in the banking? I call it X. Doesn't bother me? Okay, well, maybe I'm just the idiot. How awesome of Barclays today. How amazing that they would upgrade banks at the high. That's just great. Gift. So keep an eye on that because here, let's just jump into it. Any questions before we get started? Thoughts, concerns? Because again, I'm going to go into what I do, everything, essentially, just kind of roll through the evidence. So again, thank you, Eric, for being around. I feel like you and a few others were just like, it's just a matter of, again, not when, but if, but not when. Not if, but when. The market was just going to roll over. And interesting that IWM's kind of catching a bid. We know some new money coming in. But, I mean, if you got capital, this is the kind of crap you're looking for shorting. Now, again, people are like, oh, you can't short. It's breaking out. The market's going. Okay. I mean, that's, again, if you want to believe the narratives, then that's your choice, right? Right? I got my reference articles. This is what I love when people just They totally throw everything out there and they go, the news is going to be my friend. Read number 3. I mean, all this stuff, it all pertains. It's a game to take the most amount of money for the most amount of people and get people to do what? They want you to buy the highs and sell the lows. That's what they always do. Okay. Fed watch tool. We're on red alert for that March rate cut. Got to be almost like 80% now. This is kind of chopping around, but look at the March. 70%. Okay. Well, that's anything over 60% and change is basically a lock. The Bitcoin retesting the upper trend bound again. Is this a breakout or a fake out? Again, I could be wrong on this, and I'll be wrong on a lot of things. I love when people are like, you can't be wrong in trading. I'm like, do you not realize the best, even Buffett are wrong at times? I mean, it's just, how do you mitigate risk, or just don't bet on it? Like, I don't think Bitcoin, gold, all these things are actually going to break out until the feds go full liquidity. Because again, deflation, not even necessarily deflation, it's just throwing the baby out the bathwater. When the market liquidates and the VIX spikes, and again, if you have experience, you know this for a fact, it's sheer panic. And it doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to $3. It just, what if it pulls back 20%? Then you buy it with no downside, whatever the bottom ends up being when the feds go full pivot. I don't think we will get back down to, say, 18,000, but what's 20% off of 45? You do the math, right? It's $9,000. Takes it back down to this like 36. Maybe it gets down to 30s. Who the hell knows? But I could be wrong. Oil. Here's the problem, right? We've talked about it. Huge short interest, rallies, then demand destruction. I personally think there's a big floor under oil, obviously, because it's called refilling the SPR. I just don't know how low it goes. We're not getting negative futures pricing. And if we do, then whoa. Like Joey from whatever that stupid show was. Whoa. That would be pretty nuts. Because again, I think as much as Greenpeace and everybody wants to go green, you can't just go cold turkey. There has to be a transition plan, guys. It's like, it's almost so funny that everybody wants to go green, which again, no one wants to. No, why would you need to burn things? Ultimately, we agree. All technology needs to update. We could use an update in transportation and oil and gas, but what's the transition? I mean, what's the transition plan? You need to build more nuclear power plants. That's why we agree with the long-term uranium or whatever it ends up being. Nuclear fission, fusion, whatever. I don't know. Again, I'm just some idiot talking. But you get my point, though. I don't think there's much downside because I don't think we're going to figure it out. We haven't figured it out. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters. I've said the KOLD short from 110 whatever plus. I like it. Me gusta mucho. Me gusta. Sorry. Just checking something. Yeah, so me gusta mucho. Natural gas here. Let's go to the beautiful video tape. If you have any questions, again, do not hesitate to interrupt me. This is a free live open chat. Flowing. We'll all just talk. No, and let's just talk about what we see. Again, we talked about the dollar, and everyone's like, whoa, it got smashed. It's like, no. Ex-div, look at that div, $1.75. $1.25, sir. Isn't that your... I don't know if you guys remember the old Adam Sandler's videos. Not how much your mother charges. So if you did the math there and you added that $1.75 back, it basically took you, look, $1.75 took you right back to the 200-day bounce. Bounce. TLT. Again, I mean, we talked about this. We knew there was going to be a bounce, right? We said the biggest volumes in history down here, capitulation, due to bounce. Then you get up into resistance. And all right, let's see what happens. Again, do bond yields go screaming lower? We'll see. I mean, again, near term, I don't know why anyone would be lending us money. I mean, we don't plan on ever paying it back other than printing more of the dollars. So if you want long-term treasury debt, like, well, are you high? How high are you? The VIX, we talked about it, basing. Just a matter of time. Nice wick today. You know, wiki. We'll see how the day closes. I don't have a again, I don't really have an agenda on how long this needs to take. It's going to take as long as it needs to take, because I think, now again, we could get bought back at the end of the day, no doubt. We're breaking the 8-day. Finally, is this a pro freaking gap on the first day of the year, trading wise? That's something that does, like, that's not normal. Everybody and their mom, and again, I read all of the social media crap. They're all like, oh, the market's going to continue into 2024, the January effect. Guys, this is the most overbought I've ever seen the market in the history of my lifetime. What? I mean, again, we know what the January effect is, right? New money, new year. Is it me, or did everybody fucking plow in at the end of the year? But here's where it gets interesting. Look at these distribution signals up here. Big red candles with high volume at the highs. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. If you guys know Jim Rome, the speaker, not the freaking killer commentator who got, I think, was it Jim Kelly who jumped across the table and punched him or whatever? Maybe it wasn't him, but whatever. The market is overbought, guys. That's how we talk. Yeah, the market, the January effect. You think it's priced in? I mean, look at the market. Holy suck. You know, whatever. Keep an eye on it up here. QQQ, definitely getting burned. Holds a 20 days. I mean, like burned like today. It's definitely leading down, which leader's not leading anymore. We've talked about that the last couple weeks. It's so hard. I know. The trash is floating last. Yeah, financial is rising when they are literally the most likely to get burned. IWM, we talked about this lagging. Lag. Then it catches up. Remember, look at the Qs and the SPY up near 52-week highs. Here's the IWM trying to catch a bid. We said, watch this breakout. Oopsies. This is an interesting formation because, again, look at the volume at the highs. Like, this is the volume that you confirmed to potentially be a novice gap and trap. But then it took days, and then they stretched it out. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but again, if you follow the open interest on the IWM, it was getting, all-in calls. Like 90% calls, always. It's like, market maker's really going to want to pay that out long-term. Yeah, right. Gold. Everybody and their mom's like, oh, it's going to the moon. And it's like, okay. If it does, that's fine. I'll be late. There's honestly, you can always jump back into gold. This is where it's hard, and I honestly almost shorted the GDXJ, and I wish I would have, damn it. Silver, not following through. Holding the 200-day, but then gaps up, gives it back. GDX, miners, lead, the metals. I was about to just short any pop today, because I'm like, man, if the VIX is going to go, this is fucking toast. Excuse my language, toast. Toast, get out the jam. Peanut butter jelly time. Because we know what happens when the VIX breaks out and the market smokes. They beat this crap like it's... sorry. Yeah, they beat this crap like it owes them money. Did I just pull... I think... no, I'm good. Okay. Here's COVID. Buh. Right? I guess, man, it's going to be hard to go back. I'll just do it. I'm already slow rolling it back. And here you go in 2008. Look at this stuff. Right? Okay. Chop. Let it play out. Yeah. Some of the miners, again, they're holding up. New year. Oil is all over the place, y'all. All over today. Anyone's here? Let me just pull up 10-minute. It's up, down. Look at this. Gaps up. Rips. Gives it back. Okay. We'll see what happens. XOP. This is where, again, I got stopped, rolled up stops and moved on. And I'm like, I'm feeling okay about rolling into other names. But again, I don't know if there's a ton of upside as much as people want to believe here. It just looks like a big sloppy chop zone. You show me the 100 area. Let's talk. I'm just running through all of them all. ExxonMobil. Finally, this is trying the whole, new year. Someone's like, oh, it's single digit PE. You got to buy it. All right. Well, so far it's holding the 20-day and just chopping here at the base. I mean, who cares about oil? Let's talk about Apple. Finally, somebody with some sense talking about what they're expecting next year. Yeah, no growth. Negative growth, maybe. What happens if China takes over Taiwan, which, again, if you listen to Xi directly from the freaking mouth of this guy, that guy, said, we're going to reunify with Taiwan. Apple's an American company. Do you think they're going to like it if we get involved and we say, no, don't do that? Don't you think they're going to say, no Apple products? My next favorite short is Taiwan Semi now. I mean, hearing that, it's like, oh, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. This thing is toast. I mean, we all know Buffett dumped up here, right? Because he knew what was coming. All right, well, it's just now you get like this dead cat bounce with the market and rally back to the highs. Again, define your risk. I mean, could something happen? I mean, maybe we bail them out. I have no clue. You never know for certainty. There's no certainty here in trading, so just keep that in mind. Just that makes sense to me. Meta, again, as I told you guys, Zuckerberg's building a compound in Hawaii and selling his shares to basically trade in and buy $1 billion probably compound. Hits the 20-day. But look, zoom out. Like, I mean, are we really going to break out? Dude is selling shares like it's going out of style. There you go. Watch that. Break, game, over. Amazon, and again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just mocking, like, with voices. Oh, it's breaking out. I'm like, yeah, Facebook's going out of style. I mean, just Facebook has no, like, competitive advantage. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snap, Chisel. I don't know, whatever. I mean, all the social media platforms. I mean, that's fine. They're all, but here's the thing, though. In a recession, do people advertise? No. Amazon, people are like, oh, it's going to the moon. I'm like, just keep an eye on it. And then chop. All right, we'll see. CRM, I mean, again, games that are riding the freaking lightning, gaps down. Okay. Guggenheim, talked about the fake breakout. I mean, this has been hard. I mean, that's where I think people go, I just want easy. Well, if you want easy, don't trade. We talked about the fake out breakout. Well, it's looking a little more like it. Microsoft, we said, like, this thing's been stuck for weeks. Just going nowhere for 6 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. NDAQ. I mean, I'm mind boggled that they got this piece of crap up here, but guess what? Higher it goes, the better the short, I guess, at some point. Interesting area fill-ins the gap. MicroStrategy. I mean, this is clearly what everyone's piling into. Look at the volume up here, though. Look at this wick. This is what is hard about tops at times, right? Like, you don't know. You don't know for sure anything. Okay. Again, I mean, I'm not sitting here shorting it, but yeah. I mean, you got to be thoughtful. You got to be fast. Netflix, this boggled my mind. They ran this thing up, broke it out over the highs, and then, again, these are, and people, this is what I don't think people realize. Like, when they think bull trap, they go, 1 day, hourly, a 10-minute candle. If patterns are not all just repeating on different time frames, why can't they happen on the daily and the weekly? Whoa, no way. Yes way, bro. Looks like it. Tesla announces their numbers. Great. More cars they build, the more the stock goes down long term. I don't know. I mean, your guess is good as mine, y'all. Your guess is good as mine. I don't really. I mean, this thing has just been busted. It's just a trading avenue that has a big following. Congrats. Again, like, let it get destroyed. SMH, fake out, breakout. I don't know. That's a big damn gap. But it's 1 day, Dan. It's going to be bullish next week. Okay, maybe. We'll see. Watch. I mean, this is chop top, trap top. I mean, you're basically getting everything. Look, right? A breakout, a chop top, retest, a higher high, and then fail, then a professional gap. I mean, this is literally like, this is the hardest version of that story that the market tells. But when it usually happens, just like at bottoms, you get, make new lows, and you make a new low. Like, flip this chart upside down. That shit would be a bottom, and this would be a professional gap up. I'm like trying to think of, like, can I flip the screen? Can I flip the screen without... No, I don't know how to flip the screen. All right, we'll see what happens. Again, Intel gets that I was going to say Jewish money, but Israel is giving them a subsidy. We'll see what happens here. NVIDIA, right? We talked about this thing. Just chopping. Everyone thinks it's a cup and handle. Okay. AMD, I mean, whoa. I don't know. That's a pretty big gap down. I don't remember any of these gap downs on the way to higher prices, right? On the road to diamond, on the road to riches and diamond rings, do real things. I don't remember big down gaps like that. Just trying to get the Biggie lyrics, but then I realized they will come across as insensitive or mean. Again, Micron, look at that. I mean, this thing has no growth. I mean, this is a definition of stupidity to buy this stock. But guess what? The market doesn't always have to be rational. Sometimes you get over it. Josh, U.S. Statesman says U.S. Steel to Japanese. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know why is anyone surprised that we don't want U.S. Steel to sell to Japan. It's like maybe the oldest. Check me if I'm wrong. It's either Exxon or U.S. Steel are the oldest two companies publicly that still traded back in the day, and they may have traded different names, but again, this is the problem where if you're trying to short U.S. Steel, you are playing with fire because I think there was multiple bidders. If you want to short, go after Nucor. They just guided. Not great. Perfect. Retesting high. Done. Get it. Caterpillar. We talked about this one being a... Gosh, man, my alarm did not go off. Insane bounce. This is what it is. CCJ. Talked about this starting to like lose strength, but all right, better hold the old high, like not old, but the highs to the left. Leaders starting to not lead, right? Just keep an eye on it. XLF, I mean, just hold on. This is funny. So Epstein's list came out. Oh, God. Time out. Thank you. Okay. If we get there, you know what to do. Insight. Interesting. Again, I don't know anything about this company other than that my wife works there. And I just followed the stock, and I was like, interesting. Again, I got nothing to say other than if you bought or owned this stock, I would be watching the mid-60s. I have no inside information. Nothing to say other than, interesting spot. Yeah, I mean, do I need to paint any more pictures? Is there anything else out there? Ooh, oh, hello. Oh, no, okay, not there yet. Oh, yeah, ANF. I have not, again, I don't watch that stock, but it's definitely, whoa. Did they bring back the shirtless models? Whoa. Did they bring sexy back? We're bringing sexy back. I'm just kind of seeing if anything lines up. Oh, actually, I see another one. Nope. Abercrombie & Fitch is launching AI chips. Now that's the headline. You heard it here first. They were putting AI chips in their underwear. Can track your... You finish that comment. You can track your steps. Oh, wow. Are they a private equity takeout or something? Again, I don't know anything about this. This is just, I mean, I look at it as comedy. Someone's got to be buying them out. What is the, let's go to the stupid meter. Just curious what it's trading at. Whoa, operating margin. Wow. So it's trading like a tech stock? Trailing PE, forward PE. I guess the PE's not out of control. Yeah, something's happening here. And then again, it might be one of those ones where if this is not a lesson for everybody who is watching this, and this is a lesson just not me to like sound like I'm not immune from this. Like this is why you have stops. Right? Like this doesn't make sense. But if you kept, and then this is why sometimes the 3 strikes you're out rule. Like if you're playing in a trade and it just doesn't work, just how many strikes do you need to take before you're out? And just say, all right, I'm leaving this thing alone. If you guys have followed the channel for any period of time, you know that like there'll be times where I'm like, it's not working. Sit in the sidelines, watching, waiting, calculating, and just going to be patient. And this, that's just what? Wow, in June this thing was at 22. Okay, I mean, good for them. Did it? What's that song? I don't know. That is stupid. All I can say is that at some point, and again, it's no different than a stock that just gets pounded down that you've ever been in, and you're just like, oh, at some point, and then it just, oh, I'll buy it. It's a good deal, and then it just goes lower and lower and lower. We've all been there. And that's where you just have stops. But instead of like just bag holding. I mean, imagine shorting this. I don't do, ooh. They started selling Bitcoin. You get a free Bitcoin in your pocket. I don't know. But yeah, mind's boggled. Thank you for showing me this chart. Hopefully everybody who is involved in this trade, who shorted it, said, you know what? I'm pretty sure. Well, I know that I know like Jay and some of the other folks who were definitely gone. That's just, again, my heart goes out to that because I think at any point anybody can get caught in something like that. Piece of shit holding up. Airbnb, we like this one. I took a little profit today. I'm like, I like some other things. Taiwan Semi. Yeah, looking for bounces. Again, I've got some capital. Again, I mean, it's one of those things where I think this is the struggle here. And when people get tied into this, like, I'll wait for the move to start, right? Right? And it's like, oops. It seemed, and this is where I think if you follow the channel, and it's not a perfect science, it's an art. You like your levels, you're patient. You like your levels, you're patient. Especially if you're not getting stopped out. And if you are, that's the nature of the beast. The nature of the game, because this is not a perfect game. I tell this to all the time, people. You can get pocket aces in poker and lose, can't you? Right? Yes. So Jay Souls is asking a question. Yes. I have read this book 3 times. If you like this, you'll love The Untethered Soul. It helps you realize that your thoughts and beliefs aren't you. Oops. They can be wiring from your past. Yeah. That's the reality here. Here, I'll drop that link because that's such a good book. I mean, a lot of guys don't realize like that book has helped more people than I know. And again, the Mountain is used really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it's not. It's actually great. Again, I just, some people get, I don't know. Some people have better luck reading one book versus another. And you'll never know. Let me see if I can drop this right here. Love it. Because again, it talks about the voices, the feelings, the thoughts. Have you ever, let's all do a game. Is anyone, like, how many people can actively interact with me as we speak? I want to try something here. Give me a thumbs up, a hey idiot, hey bud. If you're in the Discord room and you can, okay, cool. And you can instantly react to what I'm going to say. Because this is the test of how insane we are. Not just you, but me, all of us. If you're in the main chat or friends chat, either one. Stop for 3 seconds. Close your eyes. Cover your ears if you need to. Don't listen to me. And just sit there and see if you can sit still. And no thoughts permeate your brain. Can you do it? If I shut up for 30 seconds, no, let's do 15 seconds. Type in what starts popping up in your brain, because I'm going to type in what happens. Starting now. All right, I already got stuff showing up. This is what popped up in my head. My wife had a procedure, and she texted me about the money, and what popped up in my head is, how can I help her? Flowers. Oh, Carol had a good thought. What does my wife's procedure and money have to do with, me helping her, have anything to do with what I'm doing now? Now, maybe that might not be like the best example, but my point being is your brain doesn't it's always searching out, right? It's always trying to prepare and think about the future while also at the same time avoid fear, pain, problems, right? Yeah. That's my point, is the untethered soul makes you realize the voices, the thoughts, and the beliefs, they aren't you. They're the preconditioned wiring. And so what does that have to do with trading? Well, this is where it gets freeing, but also kind of saddening at the same time. Say you've had problems in trading. Who hasn't had a mistake? If you make a mistake in trading, what is your brain going to try to do without you knowing it? Avoid mistakes. If your brain is going to try to avoid mistakes, what kind of ways can it do it? Convince you to get out of the market, right? And then when you feel confident, convince you to do more if you're right. Either way, you have to be cognizant that your higher self, who you are, is not your beliefs again, right? We have to look at the charts. This is where I get, so many people emotional. And again, this is why I try not to be emotional. You guys hear me sad or mad? And again, every once in a while, my frustration meter, again, when we see the market at the highest overbought it's ever been in my lifetime, I guess it's always possible. But even then, I'm what the fudge, sickle? So that's just the nature of the beast. And so if you have had pain, sorrow, frustration, grief, mistakes in trading, if you're not clearing them out of your head and sticking to your rules and applying probabilities of trading, you're just emotionally fucking gambling. Right? You're just coping with emotions versus actively sticking to your rules, maybe trading. Again, I mean, there's times where no one's perfect. Let's not sit here and go, oh, the trading's just easy. You just become a robot. No. You can't get rid of your emotions and your prior beliefs. You can only confront them. Just again, Randy Howe, love his stuff. Love it. Mindfulness, emotional programs, lead to your emotions, which lead to your beliefs, which leads to thinking, and then it controls your trading mind's perception of things. Again, emotional programming, like it starts with your brain. You have preconditioned emotional programs. They get triggered. You start feeling certain emotions. Those emotions trigger beliefs that are resolved or not resolved, which leads to certain types of thinking and then takes over your perception. How many times in the last, and this is what's hard. I don't know, in the last 10, 20 days, it's felt like the market can only go up. Well, I sit here and I go, it looks like it's setting a trap. Now, again, it could do this and break out. But if you're telling me, Dan, put a gun to my head. Do you want to go long the market or do you want to start shorting with defined risk? I mean, do you see how wow. I mean, how many people on Twitter, and again, this is why the market always makes money off the participants. Why? Because it blinds your judgment. Like, again, it'd be, we talked about when we were shorting down here, like, please look at profit taking end of the month. If you have to stop out, that's fine. And if you get back in here and it fails, that's fine. I mean, in the end, all trading is about probabilities. Talked about the bounces, the chopping around, the VAP zone, especially on the SPY. Like, that was like the jam. That was so easy. It was just VAP zoning, bouncing. Dink, dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is another one. No, was this one? No, that was just the 200-day. Now we're up here, and I have people telling me I am stupid. I'm going to get crushed. I'm the dumbest person in the world for wanting to short up here. That's usually what I hear at extremes. I mean, again, I don't like to go back and be revisionist by any means. Not revisionist, but like pat myself on the back. But I remember telling people, like, hey guys, like, this market's gotten smoked. It might be worth taking some profits here. Oh, nope, the world's gonna end. We know the recession's coming, but damn, did they not push it back, right? They pushed the market back up like in the 1970s. I'm glad that's one of the things why we check the charts. And we talked about that first pullback to the 20-day. I'm like, it's probably a gift. Then you get to the trend, you back off. And it looked like a head and shoulders bottom. I was like, all right, well, let's get a little rally, see what's happening. I mean, it's been a trader's market. It's been hard. All right, some names better than other. I mean, how many people believed, this was bullshit, right? The AI bonanza. AI forever. Well, we kind of debunked that and said, good luck with that. If you want to own AI stocks forever, then they pull back. Now they fake out with the big dog not breaking out. I don't know who it was today, but some brokerage put out, literally, their favorite stock of 2024 is NVIDIA. Okay. We'll see what happens. So any other thoughts, questions, concerns? No, it is comical. It literally is comical. Best trade of 2024 will be NVIDIA. Where were you guys at for 2023? Because I'm pretty sure if you would have said best trade of 2023, that makes sense. Now, you can't make this shit up. Excuse my language. The best trade of 2024 is going to be the best trade of 2023. You see why people lose money. I think the best trade of 2024 might be shorting Taiwan Semi. I don't know if anyone, any reason why they'd bomb this, but I would see, oh my God, I got to be careful what I say. Just like Nord Stream, would the U.S. do this to Taiwan Semi? You don't have to worry about China bombing them. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, but I think tech in general, it's just the easiest short. But That's hard to say until it happens, right? It makes sense. And this is why it's stretched so hard. And then the retest. You go look at tech to like every metric ever. To anything. It's never been more overbought times like a dozen in any metric possible. And it like makes my head hurt to like look at these things. And when I post them and look at them, I'm like, whoa. The valuations, the overall market caps of these companies, literally the Magnificent Seven is like such a large percentage of the S&P 500 and the QQQ. It's like literally boggling the mind. Can it sustain? No. Hydrogen fuel will be good long term. I guess. I don't know. I mean, probably makes sense. It's just hard with the infrastructure. The problem with those companies is you don't know how to pick the winner yet. If you have a list of them, you can drop them. But here's the hardest thing about hydrogen in a when you're an industry's getting off the ground. How about that? They're all going to have to spend a lot of money, borrow a lot of money, dilute their stocks. Well, here's the problem with interest rates higher, the cost of capital increases to build out. I don't know who the winner of that battle is, and someone's going to have deep pockets. Again, hydrogen, I mean, it makes sense, but here's the problem. Like, nobody's investing in infrastructure that, I mean, not nobody, but my point being is it's you very, very early in that one. So if you know the winner, cool. If not, you could see a lot of turds sell the idea and then dissipate. It's kind of like solar. When solar, got cooking, there was a bunch of turds that just took money and fell apart. And the winners did really good, and the losers, and the ones that were just the fake ones and the bullshit, and the companies just taking the capital and the CEOs flying to Turks and Caicos and partying like rock stars. That's where it's hard. Again, I don't have a hydrogen fuel stock, nor would I even look at them at this point, honestly. I mean, again, when oil and gas prices get low enough, there's kind of a cost advantage to not switch. And again, we know how stupidly short-term looking everybody is. Good God, look at Mara. Man, I was seeing this morning, like, oh, this is going to the moon. I didn't even realize it was making a lower high, and it's coming right back down to the lows. Again, I'm not much for the social media stocks of the day, but I did see that one. Do you guys know what the worst performing stock in the S&P 500 was last year? Take a guess. Da-da-da-da-da. You guessed it. We're showing it right now. And you know what? I'm not trying to be mean. But it's like, man, do you want to invest in taxis? Horse and buggy? Blockbuster Video? Kmart? Rubik's Cube? I mean, I'm trying to think that's something that's hit around. It's not. And I remember how many, and again, I know some of you guys who follow like the social media and the posts and like the stuff that always just kind of gets talked about. And it was like, AMC is a good trading stock. I'm like, and especially the last couple, like what? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you caught that part and that part, but then it's again, when they get delisted out of the S&P 500, that'll be probably the death nail. But I mean, this is why I don't play with these stocks, because they're crap. Anyway, just since we're doing the 2023 year in review, essentially, there you go. Like, what the fudge? Big swings. I'm like, what? It looks like the best trade was to short every pop. Literally. It's a great gambling stock. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know how many people, you know me, I don't care, whatever. You can have your own opinions about all this stuff. I just don't like invest looking backwards and taking high amounts of risk on stock because, again, this is what happens. They get burned. Burned. Just curious, XBI, is it retesting? Ooh, it did. Ooh, it did. Ooh, it did. Look at that wiki. What's the XLF doing? Retesting the highs. Ooh, wiki. Dude, today could be a bomber of a day. Bomber. Ooh. Breathe, Dan. Breathe. It's like they're trying to jump into IWM to push it up, and then it's like, look at the Qs just burning down the house. Like it. No, I can't get in trouble for trying to partially sing out. Oh, you've got a you copy someone's music. Burning down the house. We'll see. I mean, here you go. Let me just, again, fun for 10 minutes. You better hold 400 or it has no stopping till 390s. You see that? Burning down the house. Hey, what's up, Joe? Happy New Year, brother. Yeah, tech. I mean, you better hold. You better hold the 20-day, essentially. Because after that, I don't know. I mean, this trend line looks kind of swag, but I guess it was important at one point. I guess, no. Let's just clean it up. Let's do some fibs. Because now I think the top is in if this is a professional gap. Meaning, even if it's just a pullback, it will pull back. Okay. All right. You guys need me to show you the past just to kind of have fun with this. Here's 1970s. Wee. 1974. Not a good year. Nixon resigns. Are we going to have a Biden resignation? Again, I don't know. Watergate, petrodollars, American loses its pride. I mean, it literally sounds... Is this say 2020 to 2030? I mean, change Watergate to whatever gate never-ending political instability. Petrodollars, yeah, dollars is going to be an issue, but currencies as a whole. Stagflation, yep, exactly. America loses its pride. Some people might argue we've gained the pride. Sorry, did you guys see Dave Chappelle's new special? He did a whole example talking about when he Norm Macdonald introduced him to Jim Carrey, who was playing what's his name? Andy, what's his name? Oh gosh, why are my names? Man on the Moon guy, if you know this. But anyway, what's his Andy? There's an Andy Daniels I know from growing up. It's not Andy Daniels. It's Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman. And he relates it back to this whole... it's just funny. It's just absolutely funny. Because he goes to meet Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey's playing Andy Kaufman all day, every day, in his beliefs, thoughts. He's living the role, right? And Dave goes and meets him. He's like, oh. And everyone's on set don't call him Jim. And then after that, he's like, you got to be careful. He's in this he's in this performance, and he's playing this character all the time, even in his time off, to work on it better. And Dave just is like, this is really uncomfortable. And then he relates it back to stuff that's going on today and how people trying to pretend they're somebody else isn't just uncomfortable for the person who's pretending to be something they aren't. yeah, they're basically, yeah, they're, again, I'm not going to say about all people, but there's a lot of people out there that think they should be dinosaurs or they should be treated differently because they have feelings. I respect your feelings. I can validate your feelings, but I don't have to agree with them. If that makes sense. Just because I say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you still have the right to determine whether you believe it or not. My perception is my reality. That's all. It's just so funny, that whole story. He's like, what the hell? And then he relates it back to comedy when it just, the end is the hook on that just made me laugh, kind of cry. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I'm going to get in trouble talking about this because I'm pretty sure, again, it was a Netflix special, but if you know Dave, he's had a lot of run-in with a lot of groups of people because you know what? Comedy makes fun of everybody. And some people just don't like to be made fun of. But the reality is you can make fun of a straight, white, gay guy, or a white, straight, non-gay, white guy, whatever, I can like run all day. But you can't make fun of anyone else. You can make fun of me. I don't care. Please do. Straight, white, non-gay. Yep, there it is. Like, can't even fumble. Like, it's okay. Everyone can be entitled to be who they want to be. But you're not entitled to control my beliefs. I can believe what I want, just like you can too. Free speech. It's a lovely thing. All right, any other thoughts, concerns? Again, I'm not trying to get political. People are like, oh, you're being... I'm like, no, I hate both sides. When I talk about it, I'm always like, both sides suck. They just want us to hate each other. Hate. Play hate his ball. Speaking of Dave Chappelle, y'all know I think he's funny. I think that's where the beauty in all comedy is. It relates to just real life things that are silly, dumb, don't make sense, and you can laugh about them. If you can't laugh about things, man, life is just not worth being that serious. You're only going to be here for so many years. No, thanks, Deanna. Any other thoughts or questions? I mean, again, I'm seeing VALE low of the day, SMH low of the day, NVIDIA low-ish of the day. What else? I'm seeing some flashing. Silver low of the day. It's kind of one of those things. Looks like money's flowing into IWM, which is curious. It's coming out of tech. It's trying to go into some commodity names. It looks like it's kind of taking a stab at the DIA. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm curious what's holding up DIA today. I just think tech on any bounce is the short. That's just such an easy trade. DIA should come down. What is holding it up? I don't have all the names in front of me on the DIA. Actually, I do. No, that's not it. It's on a different workspace. Let me see. Where is it? File, open. Ooh, oh, that's just too much pain. I'll go, that's going to be too slow. Is it carry? Okay, financials holding up. That's what it is. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. So, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Again, I mean, this is the time where if you want to pick on something or pick a name and dig into it, or if you want to talk real estate, oh my God, I don't know if I can say this, but I've got a chubby for creative finance and real estate coming up this year because I think higher rates are going to give you the ability to get into houses with no capital and not having to go to traditional banks. And if you're looking to sell your house, selling your house through non-traditional ways to potential investors so that you get what you want near term so that you can get out if you need to. So many, again, creative finance. People don't realize this, and I'll just rant on this for 2 seconds, is that you and me, if we're a buyer and a seller, we can create our own debts. We can create our own structures, and you can seller finance me. We can set sub 2. I can take over your payments. So if you don't know what sub 2 is, it'd be like me buying something on a credit card and you make my credit card payments for me and you keep the product. Title's in your name. But since I already say I bought a bunch of hot dogs and you want to buy them off of me and I can't do anything with them, I'm stuck with a bunch of hot dogs, but you're a hot dog vendor, you could take over my payments and I'll give you the hot dogs for a little obviously, if I bought them for $2, I might give them to you for $2.50. But yeah, I mean, wraps, second, third lines of credit on your people. This is the thing. I don't, give me 2 seconds. This is how I want to end this, because this is what I really believe. A lot of people, as sad as this is like the poor person mindset. And I know a lot of people will be like, Dan, you can't tell me how to think or feel. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to. But I do believe this is the problem with people. Is the rich get richer because the poor think every opportunity is a scam. That's what people think. Poor people think you can't, everything's a scam if it has a opportunity, like if you can lose in it. Yeah, everybody takes risk. You do creative financing, well, maybe something happens to the house, or maybe, in real estate, things happen, right? You buy a stock, does it go up and go down? Oh my God, it's a scam. Stocks are scams. Housing's a scam. Every investment's a scam out there. No, put your money in the bank. The bank's a scam. No, keep the money in gold or Bitcoin. But no, those markets are a scam. Hide it under your mattress. And that's why the poor stay poor. You have to invest. You have to take calculated risk and employ capital, or borrow other people's money and do the same and share the reward. Like say I team up with somebody to buy a property. We split the risk and we split the reward. Does this make sense? Because I think this is the problem here. In 2024, I don't want people to think that. I want to focus on that in 2024. That picture to me, because do you guys not agree that with great volatility is going to come great opportunity? Do we all agree? Right? There's going to be, we know commercial real estate's a mess. We know residential real estate is sickening. We know the consumer's tapped out. We know people are leveraged out on their credit cards. We know banks got problems. We know the government has a spending problem. We know there's war, never-ending war. We know China's an issue. We know central banks are fucked. Excuse my language. Hopefully no one will report me, other than report me for, yes, you're right. Is there going to be opportunity? And it's not to prey on other people. It's just that they're stuck and they can't hold. And it's not your job and my job to bail them out, other than to help them get out of their problem. If they need to take a loss or move out of a property or get out of a certain circumstance versus foreclosing or going bankrupt, you tell me what's a better choice for going out of business, bankrupt, or taking your assets and selling them at, discounts and just getting back to square one. I would think you're helping someone out by the second one, because getting foreclosed on, going bankrupt, that is not what you want, ideally, unless you just really want to scrap all your debts. So this is the kind of stuff, 2024. Going to get deeper into this, because this is the thing, like in the 2000s, post-bubble, housing bubble, creative finance was legitimately probably the easiest way to get a loan from a bank. Because again, going to the bank, they're going to make you bend over backwards, ask you to do a colonoscopy, ask you to do a physical, and then basically still tell you, hey, we need 25% down if you want to invest. I'm sorry, I don't want to put 25% down in assets that could be risky. I'd rather use other people's money. Well, there's non-recourse loans. There's all sorts of fun little games out there where you can spread the risk around, or you find out ultimately that seller, hey, homie, let me help you out. You need to get out of this house. I'd like to buy it. Let's find a point where we both agree everyone wins. I'll pay the amount you want, but I want you to lend me the money at 2 or 3% so that I can cash flow this sucker. You'll get the price you want, and I'll get the cash flow. Win-win. I'm telling you, there's going to be opportunities like that all the time. And it's great because say you had a house At one point, you're like, I really wanted to sell it for 500,000, but the market's at 4. Well, guess what? Someone might agree at 500 if you do 2% interest rate. Oh, but you're lending them money low. No. If you want the 500, you got to give up a little bit of, you got to give some terms that make this person want to take over. Because again, they're going to try to use your loan to cash flow. Or not your loan, but the money you lend them. That makes sense. But you got out of the house. There's a win-win. I'm telling you, in life, not everyone's trying to scam you, and not everyone's trying to take advantage of you. Knowledge is power. Trusting people that trust in their knowledge. So, all right, I'm going to let it. It's an hour on the top. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. Have a great afternoon. Look forward to catching up soon. Love you guys. Peace.